Hi, this is Craig from Foxie Web Design. Today we're going to look at how you start your first website with Foxie Web Designers Club. And in this example, we'll be using Damon Art Studio. Now, this is in this case, they already had a website and they wanted to update it, but we'll be using the same principles if you're starting from scratch. So what we've done is we've installed our starter theme and template for the Foxie Web Designers Club, which is the Astra theme, and using Elementor. Now, there's already a lot of information on both these things. So if you look up Astra theme on Google, that'll take you straight there. And they have documents there in their knowledge base, all about the settings, the general installation, everything. So we can't cover everything in perfect detail. Of course, we'll answer any questions any of the club members have, but we'll be referring to this as well as Elementor as well. There's a ton of information and tutorials already on Elementor for WordPress, and you can read all about that there on their Elementor website. So, to get started, every club member generally gets installed our starter templates, theme and plugins, and the theme is Astra theme, and then we also put in our child theme, which is the Foxie Astra Child, which is a child theme of Astra. That means whenever Astra ever gets updated, we don't lose any of the settings which are contained in the child theme there. Now, for other club members, you have got your choice of other themes, such as WP Page Builder, Framework, and also Oxygen theme, amongst others. But this is generally the one that we install because it's one of the easiest ones to use and also has one of the easiest ways to get started. Now, there's a number of other plugins that we install too with the starter pack. I'll just go over these briefly. There's the Astra Pro plugin, which enhances the Astra theme and gives you a lot of extra options. Backup Buddy to make backups of the website as you progress, just in case, in the rare, unfortunate case of something going wrong, you may need to restore a previous backup, and so this is a great way to do that. Elementor, which is the page builder, which does all of the design on all of the pages. Happy Forms, which creates the contact form. A security plugin to protect the website from hackers. The starter templates for us to get started with a design with the press of a button. Some extras there for Elementor to make it even more powerful. And some SEO there from Yoast. We'll talk about that later in other tutorials. All right, so to get started, every club member will generally have a plugin set like this. And if you need extra plugins, you just have a look on our club page, request any of the plugins from our list, and they'll be installed for you. Now, here under Appearance, you see here is the place for the starter templates for Astra. And there's a huge range of templates to get started. And each different template will install different plugins depending on which one it uses. The template that we installed for Damon's website was a photography website one. That's what it looks like there. We can just have a quick look at it. And so that's what it looked like initially when we installed it. And of course we updated it with Damon's picture, with new text and everything. But this design helped us get started. But of course it's changed significantly since we installed the template. But a template's generally a good way to get started. It's the easiest way. There's a layout already there, and you just change your content, drop in your photos, drop in your text, etc., etc. So we've done that on the front page, but we haven't done that on his About page yet. So that's still the old design template layout there. And if we have a look at his website doesn't actually have an about page. It's just got gallery, artist biography, and contact. So here we've got services, portfolio, and contact, which I think's going to work a little bit better. The gallery is that's a simple gallery of all the photos. Let's have a think about that. So maybe if we change the about page to gallery for now, because I don't have text from Damon for an about page. Or anyway, let's just change this to the gallery page. And what we've got to do is change it from about, we'll change that to gallery. The other quirky thing about the latest version of WordPress, it's hard to see the permalink until you press update. And then when you click on this, then you can see the permalink. On this theme, it's in faint grey. Just want to update that. It does actually say about in there, and I need to change that to say gallery, and then press save. Sorry that's not clear there. On your website, it might be a bit clearer. On this theme for the admin, it puts that in a very light shade of grey. I'd have to look up where those settings are. Anyway, that's been updated. And of course, Yoast SEO doesn't have a description yet, but we'll get into SEO in another thing. Actually, it's changed it to Gallery 2, which means that there must be already a page called Gallery. So I'm going to actually move this page to the trash. I prefer clean permalinks. So there's the gallery page. Let's view that. Yeah, we'll have to clean that up. But see, this doesn't say Gallery 2, it just says Gallery, which I actually prefer. Now, in another lesson, we've talked about how to add things to the menu. We'll just add that back in very quickly. That we'll add Gallery there, and we'll drag that in there and delete that old Gallery page, formerly the About page. Anyway, so let's go in and edit this page. We need to clean up all of this stuff from Gutenberg. We'll just remove that block, and under the document there, we'll just have a look for the sidebar. We'll call that no sidebar, and default template, we'll call it full width template, and update that. And then edit with Elementor. Alright, so generally when I import the template library, I import the Elementor version. Just be aware of that, because in our software library, we've got a lot of software that will enhance Elementor. And you can build headers and footers and everything in Elementor as well, which we'll get onto in future videos. But right now, we just want to create a new section. We've got the option with all the different column settings here for the section. We'll just go for a one column section. Now we'll click on this button here to choose which widget we want. And we actually want an image. Now, see that little UAE? That's the ultimate add-ons Elementor. This is what I was saying before. The powerful add-ons in our software library for Elementor, we've got a lot of them. They can do just about anything you can think of within limits. So I'm just going to drag gallery in here. It's going to be a grid gallery. We'll make it columns of 3. We'll make the image size full, and the click action will take us to a light box. And then we go back to the gallery. Let's build up the gallery, and we'll put in some photos in here. Now, it's best to have them in a similar ratio. So we'll start from the bottom actually and see what the ratio of the photos down there. Or they'll look neater if they're all in the similar ratio. That's 1280 by 920. These are all quite different. What happens when we go here? 1200 by 1600, 1280 by 1920. Let's just click through a bit. All right, 1920 by 1440, 1600, so there's a square one. Here's all a bunch of square ones. It might be just easier if I select them and then delete them when they appear in the library. I'll show you what I mean. I'll select all of these and create a new gallery. Oh no, I still can't see the ratio of them, unfortunately. You can click on them and see the ratio. What I'm going to do is just go for sort of horizontal style ones. You can see these are all portraits, and keep the sort of horizontal style ones. Get rid of that portraity one. It'll look neater this way. Almost there. I'll just pause the video so you don't get too bored as I work through all of this. Alright, I've added all of the... They're similar. They're not exactly the same. I've kept some more of the square shaped ones. But that'll do for now, and Damon can edit that later. Just by clicking on here, he'll be able to edit this gallery. So we'll just update this gallery page. And go back and view the page. Now, Damon might want to clean this up a bit. He might want to get rid of images like this one, or maybe that one actually, and make it look a bit clearer. But it's not my job in the Designers Club to build each of your websites. It's to show you how to do it. So in each sort of situation, I'll help you do that. Now, I'm just wondering why this logo, this website's gone clear like that. Let's have a look how that's meant to look on the front page. I see, but then when we go to this page, it goes like this. Alright, let's just have a look at that. Yes, that's interesting. It doesn't appear on this page, but it does appear on the contact page and the gallery page. So I bet you there's a setting down here which sets the menu. Let's have a look at that. So transparency header, let's call that enabled. All right, that's just another little thing to watch out for. And that looks better. Oh, and I noticed that it brings the page up like that. You know, I think that's kind of cool in a way, because this is set up as a lightbox. When we click on this, you go through the lightbox anyway. So I'm kind of happy with that. It gives it a bit of an edge, having that. I don't know. You know, like purist artists may not think that's cool. Whatever. We could always push it down. I'll show you how to push it down in the next one. We'll do services. Now, in his old website, did he have a page called services? No, he had biography and contact. I actually think he really needs a services page. And I'm going to leave this page here. And Damon, you're going to have to add what you do here. I think this page kind of looks cool. I know a little bit about what he does, so let's just go in here and edit it ourselves. I'll just type and then I'll come back in a moment. Alright, so I've added a little bit about what he does in there, in this section, and maybe this is taking up more section than the photo. So we'll just have a look at this column width, which is 47. Let's just put that down to 35. And that gives that a little bit more space there. Now, just to even it up, actually, what we'll do is we'll call this one 30, which means that there's 60 left on both sides, which means that there's 30 all around. Call that one 30. And what that will be, what? 33. That's fine. We'll leave it like that. Now, Damon can go and update all of this text in here himself, which I think he should. And I think he should offer, I think this is a really good start. Lifestyle, landscape, wedding. Let's call it lifestyle photos, family. Maybe, let's start with family photos. I think that's the most important. Wedding, portrait, fashion, yes. Birthday, yes. Animal, not sure if he wants to offer himself for animal or not. That's pretty specialized, if he's good with animals or not. I'm going to go for something else, I think. Or Damon, you can work that out. That's enough. I'll update that. And I think that services page, that's a good start. Are you happy with the way it's very, very close to the menu like that? Personally, I think that's kind of cool. Whether it needs more parallax in there or not is another question. Probably not. Maybe not overdo that effect. Parallax, by the way, is this effect here, the way the type goes over the top of the background of that photo. And whether, if we did that on services with the camera, if the camera stayed there and the section went over the top of that or not. Maybe we'll do that in another one. So gallery and portfolio, isn't that the sort of a similar thing? I don't really like the way that looks anyway. Now, what did he have in his other one? He had artist biography. Oh, that's an important page. We need to keep that. So let's reproduce that. So instead of portfolio, we'll have artist biography. So again, you know how the system works now with the menus. We're going to get rid of portfolio. And we're going to add, it's not here under most recent, we'll view all. Artist biography, yeah. So we do have a copy of that. And just drag that in there and press save. So then when we visit the site, we'll see it now has artist biography there. Now we've got the text. Let's see if we can edit this. I don't think we'll be able to edit that with, no, we won't. But if we go in and edit the page and then press edit with Elementor, this might give us a good running start at this. Now the reason this has come up and the search bars come up and the recent posts has come up, I will show you why. We'll exit back to the dashboard. And if we have a look over here under the sidebar, we'll put no sidebar. The template, we'll call it a full screen template. And we'll disable the title, breadcrumb, and featured image and press update. So now when we go back to edit with Elementor, all right, so we've got most of the text in there. We've also got a little bit of gobbledygook code in here just to be aware of that we need to remove that. That's come in from the old website. And we'll just have another little look at the old website for inspiration. There's a big picture at the top, quite like that one, followed by 2 columns of text. Okay, I'm just, so that we just do this quickly. Let's just check one more thing too. We'll exit back to the dashboard for one more thing, and we'll just check that transparency header is enabled. Okay. And then go back into Elementor. So now all we need to do is add a full width picture in up at the top, which we'll do that. We'll just press here on the top on this section, we'll just press this plus button, and we will put in a full width 1 column section, which you can see up here. And to put the image in there, I think the best way is just to use a very simple image widget. We'll just drag that in there, and then we'll try and find that photo from the image library. It was like a blue wall with it. I don't think it was that one. Maybe it was. Maybe it was that one. That's the only one I'm seeing that looks similar with the blue wall. No, that does actually look quite different. Just bear with me while I look for this blue wall. I think that might be it. Yeah, that's the one there. So instead of large, we'll make that go full. And now what we'll do is we'll edit this section. Inside this section is a widget, which is a text editor widget. And we can see, if we click on text here, this will help us show if there's any extra code that we don't want. Now we don't want that code. And we don't want this code here. The H3 is okay. That means it's a heading, an H3 heading. So that sort of code's okay. That's actually quite helpful. And there's some more code there. Just delete all of that extra code. You won't be dealing with this, of course, if you're making a new website from scratch. This is just some leftover gobbledygook from the old website. I think that looks pretty good now. Now, this would be better off as a heading on itself. So I'm just going to copy that. And I'm just going to make another new section here. 1 row. I'll go up to the widget selection panel here, drag in a heading, and put that title in there, which I think does look nice on the left. It needs some space around it. So I'm just going to select the section here, and under advanced, I'm going to give it some padding with the percentage mark on there and turn off the link, so I can give it just 5 padding above and 5 padding below. Now back here, I'll just get rid of that extra space there. I want this to be in 2 columns. So what I'm going to do is just duplicate this column. So now I have 2 columns of text. And this column looks good up to about here, and then it doesn't need the artist bio, so I can delete that. And this one looks good with the artist bio, so I'll delete everything up to there and just keep artist. Whoops. Didn't want to actually delete that extra space. So what I'll do is I'll come into this text thing here, and I'll get rid of that marker, which actually means a space. It's code for a space, and get rid of it that way. That way I can keep that heading there, artist bio. Now here under this section, I want to put a column gap in here wider to put a bit of space between these columns. And so this heading still lines up with this text over here. I'm going to apply the same thing here under layout with column gap wider, just so that heading lines up with that text there as well. Okay. Now that doesn't look so neat there, publications. We'll just have a little look at that. Actually, that could go into a new column by itself. So I'll show you what we're going to do. Again, the cheats way of doing this for me would just be to duplicate this whole section, which means I've got this column and this column again, and just remove publications from here. Whoops, where is it? Publications. Select all of that and cut that. I'm just using my shortcut keys, cut. I could also do a right click. So you've got copy. I'm going to do paste. It didn't actually paste in there properly. I'm just going to go in here and paste it in here. Okay, there we go. Publications. And this, we don't actually need any of this. It's actually always safer to edit it from this window on the left, by the way. And I think publications looks okay there on the left, except there's a big gap there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just drag this widget of publications into there. Actually, that sits a little bit nicer, so I can actually delete that section. And that's probably good enough. I'll just press update, and Damon can tinker with that some more and make that perfect. Let's view that page. Yeah. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now, this doesn't fit to the whole width of that background on this page. And that's because of the size of it. So let's just have a look at that picture again. I'll just show you why that's not going to full width. It's one of the reasons why is because we used, even though this says full width, let's just go here. For a start, the contents width is boxed. We'll make that full width. But I'm not sure that's still going to have an effect, because if I click on this photo and have a look at it, it's 1280 pixels. To get it full width, I'd really go for 1920 or 2048 or something like that. I'll show you, even if I update this and look at this, I don't think this is going to go full width. No, it's still cutting off there. So let's edit this with Elementor. We're going to have to take a different approach. So rather than having this widget in here, this image widget, I'm going to delete that. And I'm just going to select on the section here and go into the style for that section and choose a background type of an image. Again, we'll look for that same photo and insert that. We'll make the image center. We'll make the attachment, we may as well make it scroll. We'll give it that parallax effect. And repeat, no repeat. Actually, we'll put repeat in there as a safeguard. It's better than nothing, but we don't need it because what we'll do is we'll have cover there. Now, because there's nothing inside this section, it has no actual height, or just the bare minimum height there. So what we need to do is add some height. And again, we'll do that with the padding. We'll turn off the link, we'll turn on the percentage, and in the top there we'll put 40%, and the bottom we'll put 40%. Now, actually that's taking up almost 80%, 100% of the screen now. We didn't actually want that, did we? So let's go for something smaller, 20 and 20. That's still quite huge, but let's just try something else. We'll go for 15 and 15. That might be a sensible cutoff point. Let's just see what that looks like when we update it and view that page. Now, it still hasn't covered, so we'll look into that some more in a moment. All right, set to scroll. I should have put it to fixed if I wanted the parallax. So again, let's edit that with Elementor. Just choose that section. Now, it is set up for full width, and there's no other padding in there except for on the top and the bottom. What we did want to do is, instead of it scroll, we did want to make it fixed. Maybe turning off repeat might help, but there's still that space on the left and the right there. So let's just have a look. We'll update this and we'll exit to the dashboard and see why that hasn't gone to full width. So it's set as a full width template, no sidebar, full width and stretched, content layout. So that was the missing piece of the puzzle there to get it from the edge to the edge. So let's view the page now. We've got an edge to edge and also that parallax scrolling effect too, which I think looks quite good on that page. Now, we could experiment with the padding a little bit in terms of how this photo sits there on that page. Personally, I'm happy with that, but Damon can play with that himself and get that the way he wants. And I think all of that text sits nice on the page there as well. So now we've updated 3 pages, haven't we? The gallery, the services, the artist biography. The home we'd already done. So it's almost there. It's almost ready to publish. So the next step for us after Damon's had a look at it and approved all of this is we need to migrate this from this URL, We8Art, and over to his live URL, Damon Art Studio. We'll be doing that migration in the next video. Of course, if you're a club member, I'm quite happy to do all those migrations for you myself, if any of them are necessary. So do let me know. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, let me know. I'll turn it into a tutorial video. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.